Self-love means accepting yourself as a worthy person because you choose to do so. Acceptance also means an absence of complaint. Fully functioning people never complain, and particularly they don't complain about the rocks being rough, or the sky being cloudy, or the ice being too cold. Acceptance means no complaining, and happiness means no complaining about the things over which you can do nothing. Complaining is the refuge of those who have no self-reliance. Telling others about the things you dislike in yourself helps you to continue the dissatisfaction, since they are almost always powerless to do anything about it except deny it, and then you don't believe them. Just as complaining to others accomplishes nothing, so permitting others to abuse you with their own tote bags, full of self-pity and misery, helps no one. A simple question to ask will generally end this useless and unpleasant behavior. Why are you telling me this? Or is there anything I can do to help you with this? By asking yourself the same questions, you will begin to recognize your complaining behavior as ultimate folly. It is time spent in a wasteful manner, time which might be put to better use in practicing self-loving kinds of activities, such as silent self-praise or helping someone else to achieve fulfillment. There are two occasions when complaining is least appreciated in the world. One, whenever you tell someone else that you are tired. Two, whenever you tell someone else that you don't feel well. If you are tired, you can exercise several options, but complaining to even one poor soul, let alone a loved one, is abusing that person, and it won't make you less tired. The same kind of logic applies to your not feeling well. Nothing is being said here about informing others of how you feel when they can help you in any small way. What is being challenged is complaining to others who can do nothing but endure the grumbling. Additionally, if you are truly working on self-love and you are experiencing any pain or discomfort, you will want to work on this yourself rather than choosing someone to lean on and have them share your burden. Complaining about yourself is a useless activity and one which keeps you from effectively living your life. It encourages self-pity and immobilizes you in your efforts at giving and receiving love. Moreover, it reduces your opportunities for improved love relationships and increased social intercourse. While it may get you attention, the noticing will be done in a light that will clearly cast shadows on your own happiness. Being able to accept yourself without complaint involves an understanding of both self-love and the complaining process, which are mutually exclusive terms. If you genuinely love you, then complaining to others who can do nothing for you becomes absurdly impossible to defend. And if you notice things in yourself and others that you dislike rather than complaining, you can actively set about taking the necessary corrective steps. The next time you are at a social gathering of 4 or more couples, you can try this little exercise. Chronicle how much conversation is actually spent in complaining, from self to others, to events, prices, the weather, and on and on. Now, when the party is over and everyone has gone their separate ways, ask yourself, how much of the complaining that went on tonight accomplished anything? Who really cares about all of the things that we bemoaned tonight? Then, the next time you are about to complain, keep the uselessness of that night in mind. Self-love versus conceit. You may be thinking that all of this talk about self-love involves a form of obnoxious behavior akin to egomania. Nothing could be further from the truth. Self-love has nothing to do with the sort of behavior characterized by telling everyone how wonderful you are. That's not self-love, but rather an attempt to win the attention and approval of others by chest-thumping behavior. It is just as neurotic as the behavior of the individual who is overloaded with self-contempt. Boastful behavior is motivated by others, by an attempt to gain their favor. It means the individual is evaluating himself on the basis of how others see him. If he were not, he would not feel the need to convince them. Self-love means you love yourself. It doesn't demand the love of others. There is no need to convince others. And internal acceptance is sufficient. It has nothing to do with the viewpoints of others. The rewards for not loving yourself. Why would anyone choose not to love himself? Where is the advantage? The dividends, while they may be unhealthy, are nevertheless there for you to examine. And this is the core of learning to be an effective person, understanding why you behave in self-defeating ways. All behavior is caused, and the road to eliminating any self-destructive behavior is strewn with the potholes of misunderstanding your own motives. Once you comprehend the why of your self-malice and the maintenance system for retaining it, you can begin to attack the behaviors. Without the understanding of self, the old actions will continue to recur. Why have you chosen to engage in self-denouncing ways, however slight they may seem to you? It may be that it is just plain easier to buy the stuff that others tell you than to think for yourself. But there are other dividends as well. If you choose to not love yourself and treat yourself as unimportant by placing other heads higher than your own, you will have a built-in excuse for why you can't get any love in your life. That is, you simply are not worth being loved back. The excuse is the neurotic payoff. Be able to avoid any and all risks that go with establishing love relationships with others and thereby eliminate any possibility of ever being rejected or disapproved. Find that it is easier to stay the way you are. As long as you're not worthy, there is just no point in trying to grow or to be better and happier, and your payoff is remaining the same. Gain a lot of pity, attention, and even approval from others, which substitutes nicely for the risky business of getting involved in a love relationship. Thus, the pity and attention are your self-defeating rewards. Have many convenient scapegoats to blame for your own misery. You can complain, and thus you won't have to do anything about it yourself. Be able to use up your present moments with mini depressions and avoid behavior that would help you to be different. Your self-pity will serve as your escape route. Regress to being a good little boy or girl, calling upon the leftover responses of a child and therefore pleasing those big people that you learn to regard as superior to you. Your regression is safer than risk. Be able to reinforce your leaning on others' behavior by making them more significant than you make yourself. A leaning post is a dividend, even though you're hurt by it. Be unable to take charge of your own life and live it the way you choose, simply because you won't feel that you are worth the happiness you covet. These are the components of your self-scorn maintenance system. They are the reasons you choose to hang on to the old thinking and behavior. It is just plain easier, that is less risky, to put yourself down than to try to get up. But remember, the only evidence for life is growth, and so to refuse to grow into a self-loving person is a death-like choice. Armed with these insights into your own behavior, you can begin to practice some mental and physical exercises to encourage the growth of your own self-love. Some easy-to-master self-love exercises. The practice of self-love begins with your mind. You must learn to control your thinking. This requires a lot of present-moment awareness at the times when you are behaving in self-condemnatory kinds of ways. If you can catch yourself as you are doing it, you can then begin to challenge the thought in back of your behavior. You find that you have just said something like, "I'm really not that smart. I guess I was just lucky to get an A on that paper." The bell should go off in your head. I just did it. I behaved in a self-loathing way. But I'm aware of it now, and the next time I'll stop myself from saying those things I've been saying all of my life. Your strategy is to correct yourself out loud with a statement such as, "I just said I was lucky, but luck really had nothing to do with it. I got the grade because I deserved it." One small step towards self-love, the step being a recognition of your present moment put down and a decision to act differently. Before you had a habit, now you have an awareness of wanting to be different, and you have made a choice to make it happen. It's just like learning to drive a stick shift. Eventually you'll have a new habit, which will not require constant awareness. You'll soon be behaving in all kinds of self-adoring ways naturally. With your mind now working for, rather than against you, exciting self-love activities are on the horizon. Here is a brief list of such behaviors to which you can add as you achieve a sense of self-esteem based upon your own worth. Select new responses to others' attempts to reach you with love or acceptance. Rather than instantly being skeptical of a loving gesture, accept them with a thank you or "I'm happy that you feel that way." If there is someone that you feel genuine love toward, say it right out front, "I love you," and while you check out the reactions you receive in return, pat yourself on the back for taking the risk. In a restaurant, order something you really enjoy no matter what it costs. Give yourself a treat because you are worth it. Begin to select items that you would prefer in all situations, including the grocery store. Indulge yourself with a favorite product because you are worth it. Outlaw self-denial unless it is absolutely necessary, and it rarely is. After a tiring day and a large meal, take a brief nap or a jog in the park, even if you have too many things to do. It will help you to feel 100% better. or join an organization or sign up for an activity that you will enjoy. Perhaps you've been putting this off because you have so many responsibilities that you just don't have the time. By choosing to love yourself and partaking of the slices of life that you want, those others that you serve will begin to learn some self-reliance of their own, and you will find yourself with an absence of resentment toward them. You will be serving them out of choice rather than obligation. Eliminate jealousy by recognizing it as a put-down of yourself. By comparing yourself to some other person and imagining you are loved less, you make others more important than you. You are measuring your own merit in comparison to another. Remind yourself that 1, someone can always choose another without having it be a reflection on you, and 2, whether or not you are chosen by any significant other is not the way you validate your own self-worth. If you make it that way, you are doomed to eternal self-doubt because of the uncertainty of how a particular someone out there is going to feel at any precise moment of any given day. Should he, she choose another, that choice reflects only the other, not you. With practice at self-love, any circumstances in which you've previously found yourself to be jealous will be reversed. You'll believe so much in you that you won't need the love or approval of others to give you value. Your self-love activity might also include new ways of treating your body, such as selecting good nutritional foods, eliminating excess weight, which can be a health risk as well as an indication of self-rejection. Taking regular walks or bicycle rides, choosing plenty of healthy exercise, getting outdoors to enjoy fresh air because it feels good, and in general, keeping your body healthy and attractive. Provided you want to be healthy, why? Because you are important and are going to treat yourself that way. Any total day spent cooped up or inactive in boring routine activities is a vote for self-enmity, unless you actually prefer being cooped up, in which case you make that choice. Sexually, you can practice greater self-love. You can stand naked in front of a mirror and tell yourself how attractive you are. You can get in touch with your body. Explore yourself sensually. Give yourself goosebumps of shivery pleasure. With others, you can also choose sexual fulfillment for you rather than making your partner's pleasure more important than your own. Only by choosing gratification for yourself can you give pleasure. If you aren't happy, generally your partner is disappointed. Moreover, when you choose yourself, others are more able to choose happiness for themselves. You can slow down the whole process of sex, teaching your lover what you like with words and actions. You can choose orgasm for yourself. You can make yourself achieve the ultimate physical experience by believing that you are worth it and then getting lost in the excitement of verifying it for you. Why? Because you are worth it.